Bitcoin is still exactly following the global liquidity, and according to this, we are literally right now in the calm before the major storm towards the upside, and really for Bitcoin to crush it towards new highs here. So on today's update video, I'm gonna be talking obviously about that, about what is happening on the imminent short term on the Bitcoin price action right now. What are we seeing on this consolidation phase right now? Should we be worrying about the major bearish divergence we're currently creating on the 4-hourly time frame? I'm gonna be talking all about that and many more important patterns and important charts. So don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away into our today's update video. So first of all, there's not been a lot of stuff happening on Bitcoin in the most recent hours. We've been just still in this consolidation phase, and really, I discussed it also in yesterday's video. This top side of resistance is the level to be breaking. We've already seen 5 major rejections from this level, and every single time we touch that $105,000 level, basically see a major rejection from it. And every single time whenever we see this retest on the lower side, we tend to see a bounce from it. So this is a very interesting range where we're currently sitting in, but ultimately what I'm looking at is just something similar like we had after the last rally towards the upside. We created this move towards the upside, and then this consolidation phase of a couple days here. It was about 8 to 9 days before we created that next move. And honestly, now this move ended on Friday, the 9th of May. Now it's already the 15th, so we're already 6 days in on Bitcoin above $100,000. I mean, honestly, time is once again flying, but such kind of a consolidation phase is all more than likely to be getting right now for this market. And I mean, if I'm looking right now also at Bitcoin, I see a little bit of a warning signal. I mean, we are right now creating, of course, a lower high on the RSI, while on the 4-hourly time frame, we are creating a higher high. So we did technically create a bearish divergence, but ultimately, I am not all too worried about this signal, and I really think that this is already quite heavily invalidated. Also, since on the daily time frame and all these other time frames, we are seeing clear, healthy momentum on the Bitcoin chart, and all we're seeing right now is that Bitcoin is just running in towards ever so slight resistance right now here, because we're literally trading against those all-time highs once again here, and we're seeing some distribution of people that are actually not interested. And ultimately, whenever that distribution is finally over, we are probably going to be absolutely fly through this level. And just like we are seeing with the global liquidity, yes, at the global liquidity chart, we are right now in somewhat of a consolidation phase. And if we have to be believing this chart one-on-one, we're going to be probably consolidate for another 3 weeks here. So for another 21 to 23 days there. And after that, we're going to be having the next expansion. And that could potentially push Bitcoin all the way up towards $120,000 if it is going to be staying exactly in the same correlation. So that is ultimately very bullish. It is exactly still playing out that way here. If we're looking at the bull market peak indicators, 0 out of the 30 indicators have flashed so far here. And if I'm looking at the funding rates, they are starting to become negative again here. So ultimately, these are very bullish signals, because the funding rates, they equal on how the sentiment is in the market. And right now, clearly people are thinking Bitcoin is going to be dumping. People are trading short again here. And ultimately, that is also really why we are once again seeing some short positions getting squeezed up above us. And ultimately, this liquidity is going to be getting squeezed out. And whenever that happens, we are, of course, going to be flying much, much higher. So yes, I've stated so many times before on the channel, whenever funding rates go negative, I actually prefer to be buying in towards long positions, because I like to play against the odds of the market. So right now as well, Bitcoin is really just still consolidating after having such a big rally towards the upside. And ultimately, it's just very normal what we're currently seeing. And the charts are all on different time frames still looking very healthy. We are seeing the weekly breakout. And just like last time this happened, it took about 2 weeks before the breakout really got started after we actually broke the downward sloping trend line. So something similar wouldn't be surprising me all too much here. Then yesterday, there have been some news stories. There's not a lot of stuff happening, but of course, basically Trump secured a $1.2 trillion economic commitment with Qatar, which is of course a very beautiful deal for the United States of America. And this morning, or this last night, if you're living in the US, Trump said, whenever Besant will go on TV, everything goes up here. So it's going to be a big day. Maybe something big is going to be happening. Then earlier today, we got some inflows once again on the spot Bitcoin ETF, but also on the Ethereum ETF, about $63 million worth of inflows again here. And if I'm looking at the stock market, yesterday has been quite a dry day here, but we are bouncing back quite strongly towards the upside. And in yesterday's video, of course, I discuss the major V-shaped recovery we're currently creating and how big of a correlation this has with Bitcoin. So really, everything is showing us that we're literally in the calm before the storm. The global liquidity is showing that. The stock market is showing that as well here. And Bitcoin right now is just creeping up against those all-time highs. And whenever we're going to be breaking above it, we're going to be flying higher. And I don't want you to get fooled here. I've discussed it in many of my videos before, but I want to say this every single time again here, because I do know whenever Bitcoin is going to be flying higher, there's going to be more interest, there's going to be more people in the market who's going to be probably watch these videos, and they all want to hear Bitcoin is going to go higher. But ultimately, I have already set up my targets a long time ago here, and I really think Bitcoin is going to be peaking out between 140 towards 130,000 US dollars, and I do really think that this is going to be the last final leg towards the upside, where we're also going to create a big bearish divergence. So yeah, whenever this is going to be playing out, I will be letting you know, but please subscribe to the channel, slap on the bell notification, because I am also planning to open up major trades here on Bitcoin whenever I do think this is going to be happening, not only on Bitcoin, but also many of these other altcoins as well in the market. So Bitcoin trade is still doing very good here. We're very close towards the ultimate take profit target. And I mean, guys, if you really want to be joining me with my next trade, make sure to already sign up an account to Pionex. That is the highest link description of today's video, because if you sign up an account using that link, guys, upon registration, you will already get a free $30 towards $100 for free, only for registering an account using the link below. So make sure to check it out right now in the link description of today's video. It is extremely valuable. And besides the insane deposit bonus, guys, the amount of products, the grid trading bots, it's absolutely insane here, because it is honestly one of the best products in the market. It's working so great here. So make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, we are right now still at the beginning point of that major rally higher for the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. You can see it also if you're going to compare to our previous cycles in terms of in which part of the cycle are we right now here. We are not in the peak part of the cycle right now here. So we have seen really in 2025 that if we're going to be looking at the ownership of Bitcoin, most individuals have been actually selling off Bitcoin, while businesses, ETFs, funds, governments, and others have actually been buying. So we're seeing a clear shift happening right now here. Smart money is buying, while potentially retail is distributing their tokens. And on most on-chain data as well here, we are starting to see that long-term holder spending is once again coming back, which ultimately is a very great signal. And really, something similar is happening also on Ethereum. Of course, we already think, at least I already think, the chart is looking very great, especially the Bitcoin dominance. It really looks like it is going to be peaking out right now here. And the Ethereum Foundation has launched a $1 trillion security initiative to fortify Ethereum for the global economy. Ultimately, I think still Ethereum, they are doing very big things here. The chart is looking very great. It has been very undervalued. The Bitcoin dominance is literally at a peak in the market. And what we have learned from every single cycle so far is that altcoins, they do the best at the last part of the cycle. And I really believe we are in the last part of the cycle right now. We are seeing Ethereum dominance having one of its strongest returns in years. Literally, if you're looking at this chart, this has been the strongest bounce we have seen in more than 3 years in a row here. So ultimately, very great to be seeing that as well. And just like 2021, guys, I mean, really, whenever the reversal happens, it happens very fast here. And I am not saying Ethereum is going to go to 20K, 30K. No, I am having a very conservative target to reach the top side of the region, which is from here on about a 100% gain here, about 80% here. And I am really targeting that with my big Ethereum positions. And if it is going to be hitting that level, I'm going to be taking it and I'm going to be leaving the market. So this is exactly what I'm currently predicting. And guys, make sure to always do your own research. But I've been predicting this Ethereum rally all the way from this bottom. I've been buying on the legendary support line. I've been opening up trades here. You can see my trade over here still running, but also I had many other trades on spot especially. And I run my account up here from about $200,000 all the way up towards about 1.1 million right now here. So It is doing absolutely extraordinary, and I still have my target set up here for $4,000. My first take profit, around $2,500, is already reached here. I took out about 30% of my trade, but still the remaining of my target is going to be $4,000, and I'm super excited for the target here. So this is it for me in today's update video. Outside of this, there's not been a lot of stuff happening here, but guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys once again on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.